I am the queen of my throne. I am the queen of my throne. I am the queen of my throne. I am the queen of my throne.
Well, welcome back to What's Really Going On. And today we have some very special guests, and I cannot wait to just jump right into this topic. It's what's really going on with women entrepreneurs. And now we'll find out what's really going on with women entrepreneurs. We have our guest, Therese Baptiste from Belgium. Welcome.
Thank you, Karen. It's so nice to be on your program. It's really nice to be on your program.
So what I love about you, Therese, is that you like to keep it real. And so that's the perfect opportunity. So, when we're talking about women entrepreneurs, and kind of making your way in the world, I mean, I think you've kind of taken that angle in a lot of different ways. Let us know a little bit about you, just a snippet.
A snippet of me. I've done everything there is to do. Only thing left next to be is a trophy wife, which I'm still working on him agreeing to, because like you said, I've done a lot of stuff. I've been in academics, then I had my own business. I've been in government as a minister, then I've been a UN ambassador, and I'm back in academics. So I've done the full thing and come back to what I love. And I love talking about in academics and watching and helping women be the best they can be, and especially women of color, because again, we sell ourselves short. And we shouldn't, because we are really fantastic. We have done a lot. I mean, I was even shocked to find out that GPS was actually invented by a woman, and I'm thinking, okay, fine. At least we found a way to get men to ask for directions. They use Google Maps, right? And that's a woman that did that. So yeah, we're great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what do you think, like, from your experience, is something that, women entrepreneurs are kind of hesitant about then? I mean, we're making our way, but like, what are we still hesitating about?
I think we're making a big mistake, a lot of us, is that because to reach out, you find it's not that easy to go to a bank and get a loan. So therefore, they're looking for those investors. But a lot of those investors are sharks. Like when they have those shows, the sharks, they are sharks. And one big mistake a lot of women of color are making is, I think it's when they're pitching their ideas. And we say, when you pitch your idea to anyone, get a letter saying that they will not disclose it. Before you pitch it, they must have a non-disclosure document. Get a lawyer, get it done, because a lot of great ideas are going to be stolen. And we know we have the ideas. If you look back at women have the ideas, women of color have the ideas, but yet we see men and men of what I call no color moving forward with the ideas, right? Because when I was a kid, I never had black and white. To me, it was baked and unbaked, right? So that's how I saw it until I found out they were colors.
Oh yeah, you said baked and unbaked. Okay, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was baked and unbaked when I was growing up. I asked my mom, why are they not baked properly? Because that's how I saw the difference in the color. And again, the key thing is that personal branding. You talk about me. I think in every single job I've been, even when I had our own business, it was me. I sold me. And that's the first thing. And personal branding is something. You can have the best idea, but unless you brand yourself properly, you're an entrepreneur, a lot of your business growth is going to come from getting out there, marketing it, going to conventions, going to that conference, talking with other business owners. Don't let them shut you up. Okay, spreading the word about what you can do. That is what builds your brand. That's what makes people aware of who you are. It's like your gateway to your business. And we need to be not shy. I'm not shy. I'm shy. I'm an introvert, but not when it comes to business. Okay. When it comes to going out somewhere with someone else, then a bit. When it comes to business, connect on a more personal level, and people will get to know you. When they get to know you, they trust you. When they trust you, you have their business. That's it. Okay, that is a factor, and it's not a coincidence. If you look at people like Tesla and Apple and Facebook, we all know who are the people behind them. They are characters. They sell their characters. Oprah Winfrey sells her character. Okay, yes, she's done a lot, but it's Oprah Winfrey. That's who you got to sell. Just like Karen Walker sells Karen Walker. That's right. Where it's got to go. So a strong personal brand, confident in who we are. And this is going to help our status. And it's going to help us. Once we build that personal brand, we can build and our image grows. And then the services, they come with it. Okay, everyone knows this is what you're going to get. This is the person, and we need to do that. Don't get the no, they have the angry black male they talk about. No, we can be that positive, strong female. But we happen to have color. What can we say? They go getting tans for it, right? We got it for free.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, the personal branding, I think, definitely is important. And then how you portray yourself, getting out there, and then the confidence. So what do you think has kind of helped you with your branding? Do you think it's your confidence, your competence, because they think sometimes confidence can outweigh competence,
Okay. I've met people who are confident about their incompetence, you mean, right? But no, I'm talking about working with both confidence. And what you're saying has left me is that actually when I grew up, I remember getting in trouble in school because the teacher asked us, how many of y'all think women should be equal to men? And I didn't put my hand up, and she was like, Therese, did you not hear? And I was like, no, I don't think women should be equal to men. And then my poor mother was called in. Right? And my mom's like, what did you do? Because I was this goody two shoes. And I said, I don't know. And they said, oh, she doesn't believe women should be equal to men. And my mom looked at me and I said, but mom, you told me we don't need to be equal to men. Women are superior to men. Didn't you say that? And my mom was like, and I remember going home and my mom saying, okay, that was okay, but don't mention that to your dad, right? Just don't mention that to your dad. And I think I never grew up thinking that there was something that me, because I was female, I couldn't do. And again, we grew up with this equality in my family, but I don't go to the other extreme either. I'm not the kind that says, oh, a man can't open a door for me. I say, whoever reaches the door first, that person opens the door. That's it. You reach the door first, you open it. End of story. So we're not weak, yet we're not overly strong. Like my spouse says to me, you're a strong woman, except when it comes to lift anything heavy in the house. But he watches me lift a suitcase when I'm going shopping and we're on holidays. Oh, I could lift that suitcase onto that thing, because that's when my strength comes out. It's knowing when to be strong and when to be weak. There isn't, when I say weak, I don't have a problem being taken care of, but I know I can take care of myself. So this is like where that fight comes with some women, like, no. So that comes into my business. So I'm going to stand for what I have to say.
Yeah, I definitely like that. So what do you think you would tell, young, I wouldn't even say young, right? I mean, because you could get into entrepreneurship at any age, I think. So what would you tell someone who's trying to, kind of go after that dream now, and maybe they feel like they don't have somebody in their corner? I mean, what resources, I guess, can they?
Well, I know, like, again, if I just throw back, because that's how I met you, Karen, working together with you in Synergy Learning Institute, because we're talking about mentorships. And that is what is needed for us. Women of color need mentors. And again, that is why we need more of us. And we had that meeting this week with Seat at the Table. We need more women to chug women on, okay? I had my mom rooting in my corner, and that was fantastic. And then I met a spouse who also rooted in my corner. Like, he understood. I mean, I always remember when I quit and started our company, it was Valentine's Day. I quit the company I was working for, and it was like my gift to myself. I said, I'm quitting him. You go, girl, you go. Because he knew is either do that. And I'm saying, if you feel the need to reach out and start your own business, do it. Don't let the naysayers say no. And many naysayers, they will say nay to you, and they will take your idea, mimic it, and try to do it better. Okay, so forget the haters. If people don't like you, just accept they don't have taste. That's it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's amazing. So we have your website. So if people want to find you and hear more and actually reach out, they can reach you at theresebaptiste.com.
Yeah.
And they're able to, see all the accolades.
Well, it's now building up because I'm academic, but I'm going back into the life coaching, because like my students ask me to go back out. I find a lot of my past students are still reaching back to me because, yeah, as you said, they're missing that mentor out of the academic field. We've given them the ideas, but when they go out, there's self-doubt, and you don't need that self-doubt. And that's what I'm there for. So I've started doing that. So I started to build, I said I wanted to do the website, and my spouse said, you keep saying you want to do it. And for my birthday in December, he says, look, you have a website, now go for it. Right. So yeah, I'm doing it. And I'm also started writing a book. I'm writing a book of how to be yourself.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Well, that's about it. And you've told us what's really going on with women entrepreneurs. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you for tuning in to What's Really Going On, produced by EntScorpion.
And now we have with us Dr. Julie from San Diego, and you're going to talk to us about what's really going on as a woman entrepreneur, but a serial entrepreneur.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on the show, Karen. And I love to talk about entrepreneurship. It's a passion of mine. And yes, I have multiple companies, which is now becoming the trend. It hasn't been a trend for a long time, but I have currently 4 that I run: a kids entertainment company, a consulting company, technical vocational school, and just more recently, a sports equipment company that's just up and coming. So I'm just like a full-on entrepreneur, and I love doing this. And of course, a couple of my companies have been in business for 18 to 20 years, and a couple of them have only been in for 8 to 2 years in length. So it's busy, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I mean, you look amazing, so I'll start there. But I mean, for ladies that are trying to kind of manage that, I mean, let's say they have, you know, some company ideas. I mean, you mentioned you have an entertainment business. I mean, kids entertainment business, that sounds super fun. I mean, were you nervous to get that going as a company, as a business?
I was a little naive at the time. I had just gotten my master's in business, and I was like, how hard could it be to start a business? This has got to be easy. And I was working as a princess for another company, and they were really bad at what they did. And I thought I could probably do this better. And my dad was like, well, then start your own company. And it started out with me and my husband dressing up in costumes, twisting balloons, face painting, just making some extra money on the side when you're a new couple and need to make some money. And then that first month we advertised, and suddenly we had like 20 events, and we were hiring people, and it was a little naive at first. And then I started to grow into it. I definitely learned that you don't have to have a master's to start a business. You really have to have some grit, and some thick skin, and some ingenuity and innovation to do that, because even though I appreciate my degrees, they did not prepare me to actually run a company. And that company's been going nearly 20 years. So I remember us, like, when the internet was like, we'd be like, okay, we're getting on the internet. Like, nobody used the phone right now. And it'd be like, beep, beep, and you'd have to get on just so you could like use your email. Now we're like fully technology. We have apps that send out to our workers on when and what to do, and we're websites, and everything's automated. So it was an interesting adventure. And then because I love entrepreneurship, it's like I started finding these other businesses and started growing those. And when I started them all, I did not think that they would fully take off and be full-time. I thought these would all be like my little tiny gigs. Now, at least 3 of them are like full-time gigs, full-time companies running. And, but it's fun. I love being my own boss. I love having multiple things in like totally different worlds, right? Like kids entertainment is totally different than consulting. So I can twist, I just have to say, I'm proud to say I can twist 100 balloons in an hour. And that's like dogs, cats, giraffes, flowers. I got some skills on me, people.
That is amazing. So tell me, with all of these, I mean, these sound like really fun parts of business. So tell me though, really, what is like something that's like that you didn't expect about business and being like a woman entrepreneur? What was something that was kind of scary, or maybe that, you know, could have stopped you in your tracks, that maybe could help a young, or not even young, I mean, people are starting businesses at every age now. What is something that could have stopped you, but you said like that grit maybe kept you going?
I'm very competitive, and I don't like to lose. And so when I would run into something that pretty much was like, you're going to lose or you can't, I had very much the attitude of watch me. So failure wasn't an option for me. And I think as an entrepreneur, like you have to have that, like, even if that direction doesn't work, I would find another way to go around it. And so for me, that was a big thing. And I think any entrepreneur has to have that. You know, 5 years in, they say businesses fail. And usually it's for 2 reasons: either a poor setup, the way they did it, or people just can't do that. They don't have that entrepreneurship spirit. So, you know, having that grit transfers into ingenuity and what can you do? And when someone says you can't, how can you get around that? And so I think that's really important when you're trying to be an entrepreneur, is just having that no quit attitude.
So besides the no quit attitude and all the fun you're having, let's get down to the real business. What about the money? Because I've heard you say this before in your conversations, and like it does help though with money. What is something that, you know, has helped you like with negotiating money in your business?
Well, women are very guilty of always lowering their prices or lowering their cost to make a deal. And men on the other side never lower their costs. They usually raise them. They think they're amazing, and that's fine. Probably are. But women are amazing too. And so we have to negotiate our worth, but first you have to know your worth. And so in order to compete in business, you need to charge the same as your counterparts, maybe 10 cents less, maybe $20 less, but nothing less than that. Because what happens is people question this. There's two types of people: the one who always wants something cheap, and then the people who want quality and are willing to spend more for quality. My businesses have always taken pride in having high quality and reasonable prices. And people appreciate that. And that's what causes return customers. So when you're doing this, you have to really know your worth. You have to know your industry. You have to know your competitors in order to price it properly. And if you are working in a very male dominated environment as a woman, we have a tendency to drop our prices. Don't do that. Price them the same as your male counterparts, because there's no reason you should be lower. Even if you're a brand new business, don't be pricing yourself so low you price yourself out of the industry. So those are some of the tips I do when I'm doing entrepreneurship. And it's okay to say no to a bad deal. Don't be so desperate you say yes and do all this work for pennies. It's not worth it.
Right, absolutely. I love that advice. So one more thing I'm thinking here, because you have, you know, a 20-year business. I mean, they say a lot of times businesses only make it what, the first 5 years, and then it's like they just collapse. I mean, you've had companies just doing so well. I mean, did you ever expect to be in business this long? I mean, you know, you must have seen just the gamut, right, of people telling you, I mean, women shouldn't be in business or something. I mean, what's the silliest thing you've ever heard?
Someone was like, "You're the boss. You're too young to be the boss. And I can't work for someone younger than me." So I've had that comment, which was very silly and ridiculous. People will come to interview and they'll be like, "Oh, I thought Dr. Ducharme was a man. You're a woman." I'm like, "Oh, am I?" And they wouldn't interview. So those are some silly things that, you know, have been in the industry that are just ridiculous and silly. And people think when you're a small business, you don't have a lot of worth. So I've ran into issues with employees who are like, "Well, I'm working for you, but I'm working for someone else. And that someone else is going to get my time. I'm just canceling. I'm not showing up." And I'm like, it doesn't matter that my business is smaller. It's still worthy. So you need to show up. So we've had some things like that where people think that we're less value just because I don't have some giant corporate building that I'm working out of. So those are just kind of some of the things. And then of course, when you work in the kids industry world, everything's silly. You're dealing with everything from stilt walkers to clowns, and there's a lot of joking around in there.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like you have, you know, a ton of experience and lots of things that people, if they want to reach out to you, a good way to find you and reach all your different businesses, you said, was drjulieducharme.com. And they can connect with you there. And so what do you think would be something you could leave us with that would be your kind of top business advice for entrepreneurs?
If you have a passion and you want to do it, there's no better time to do it now, because people always say, someday I'm going to do that. Someday I'm going to do that. Someday you're going to wake up and you've been working a job for 30 years you don't love and you're ready to retire. So go after your passions, because when your work becomes your passion, it's not work anymore.
I love it. Well, thank you. And that's what's really going on with women entrepreneurs. That was an amazing show. Please check out these ladies and what they're doing. Therese Baptiste, her website, Dr. Julie Ducharme and her website. They gave us some amazing tips about what you can do to work on your branding, what you can do to make sure your ideas are protected, nobody's lurking around trying to steal them, and also about negotiating and how to make sure you're getting the best bang for your business. Now, this day and age, we want to make sure that we're collaborating, we're working well with others. And I want to continue to plug a lot of our partnerships that are out there and people that have continued to pour love and partnerships into what's really going on the show. If you want to be a part of what's really going on in our partnerships, continue to check out our YouTube channel and also to support Dr. Karen Walker, KW Productions, and our partners with SDIG, Systemic Diversity Inclusion Group. You can support them now with their Donate Now button that is connected to Synergy Learning Institute, the nonprofit vocational college. These two institutes and nonprofits support people globally in their continued diversity inclusion efforts to support education around the world. Get involved, don't stop making this world a better place. That's what's really going on. Mwah.
I am the queen of my throne. 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 They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we get on. They gon' hate when we get on.